All right, welcome back. It's still Galaxy. Today, away from the motivational chat segment, we'll be looking at cooperatives this morning on the show, and we have two beautiful women with us here in the studios.
Of course, we have Boladale Nash Mamodu, President, Social Harvesters Cooperative Society, as well as Kafayat Olaribigbe, who is a consultant for them. Good morning and welcome to Galaxy today.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so we've been hearing this adage that no matter what we do with our oil, no matter what we do with whatever, we still have to come back to Agric. That Agric is the basic thing. And I'm wondering why women thought of going into agriculture and not something else. Because I know you're university graduates, but you just decided to drop your certificate and go into agriculture. Why?
Anyway, let me put a little correction to that name. I'm Mrs. Kafayat Olaribigbe Amosun. Okay. I'm the consultant of Moral Global Agricultural Advocacy Company. Okay. It is well understood that agriculture, and it is not new to everyone that it's got business. At the ancient days, what we do is agriculture, and what we depend on is agriculture. We till the ground, and even in the Garden of Eden, you will quite agree with me that that was when Adam and Eve, our forefathers, actually had everything at ease to their comfort. And when they actually sinned, that person, I would not want to mention, the Satan himself, when he actually used the Eve, the woman, to actually tempt in. It was then God made us till the ground. And that is when we are making use of our hoes and our cutlasses. And mind you, everything, we should give accolade and how will I put it? We should give respect to the farmers out there, because you will agree with me that you've taken something this morning into your stomach.
Of course, you would have.
So, if you've not taken water, you've definitely taken pepper.
Oh, yeah.
If you've not taken pepper, you've definitely taken fruits this morning. And if you're not the one that takes that, you've taken veggies. So what are we talking about? We should give respect to those people too who does that. And that is where Moral Global comes in. We believe that we need to revive and revolutionize agriculture and redefine the face of agriculture, because gone are those days that believe that agriculture is for the wretched, for the tattered, for the frustrated, for people who have no life. They believe what they do is just move down from their house to the farm. Okay. And mind you, those are the people who produce those doctors you're seeing now, those lawyers you're seeing now, because they got a whole lot of investment from that agriculture, from the produce they got from the farm. And that produce is what made those kids they have, because they believe that people see them as an illiterate, and they want to bring up a literate.
Okay, I understand that now. Bola, let me come to you now. I know right now you do a whole lot of stuff with women. Why specifically women? I know for sure that women back in the day, they're the more committed farmers. So why specifically women?
Well, we also are a group of women. We just want to work together with women and encourage women to come into farming. Sometimes, women at home, the farming is not necessarily going to the big farm out there. You can do some at home. You can do snail farming. You can do sack farming. Sack, plant your vegetables and all that. You can do something instead of just sitting down. Even if you are in the office, eat something natural that you can also produce, even if it's only for your family. Organic. Do organic, because some farmers use a lot of fertilizers that are harmful to our health. So we can do something, even from home. Start from the back, from your compound or backyard.
Okay, but how do I translate that into some kind of financial empowerment if I'm just going to use my backyard? Because these days they build houses without car parks. So I'm wondering, if I do not even have a backyard, or I just find a mini place, one corner in my place, how do I transform that into something that can bring in money for me?
Like snail farming. You only need something like a small box to start with. You can use that on your balcony. You can start that.
For those of us who are balconies.
Oh, like seriously? Okay.
Just go ahead.
You can do snail farming. That you don't need much space. Even for mushroom, you don't need much space. You just need it like a size of your wardrobe for your mushroom. So you can start from there. What we are saying is start small. Start small, then you grow big.
But I thought farming or agriculture has to do with passion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I know that it's quite challenging. Maybe now we've had some kind of facilities or technology that makes farming easy. But to do this type, you're saying behind my backyard, and I still need cutlasses and maybe hoes to help me cultivate whatever it is I want. So I'm looking at it that, are you saying that, or how do I as a person make agriculture something I enjoy doing? Because starting might be very, very easier than sustaining it. So how do I enjoy farming? If I want to go into farming now, how do I get passionate about it and sustain it?
Wow. That's a great question. You see, you've mentioned something. Anything you're doing in this life, if you don't have passion, you can't do it right, and you can't get it right.
That's true.
And that's why we tell you that Moro Global, and we are actually partnering with Solid Harvesters, and we are their technical advisors, technical partners. We believe that when we make you understand what agriculture itself is, because there is more to agriculture than going to farm alone. For instance, you can have your farm behind your house, behind the back of your house, within your compound, even in your room. She was making mention of snail the other time. Do you believe you can have your snail in a room inside your house? And it's, one thing about snails is that it's not offensive.
Offensive.
Do you understand? Now, for you to have the passion, exactly, no foul odor, and for you to do something, maybe let's assume you actually want to tomato in your compound. Okay, you know definitely that when you're having maybe the whole floor is floored, and there is no sand, there is no soil, there's no earth. You can do a sack farming.
Okay.
And the gist about it is that you don't even really need much. When you're doing pepper or tomato, it has to go to nursery. We will understand that when we're taking our kids to school, they start from the kindergarten stage, the nursery stage. And that is when you're catching them young. You're giving them a solid foundation. When we are talking about pepper itself, it's something that is very, very fragile. So we keep them in the nursery for a certain number of weeks, which is just 4 weeks, a month. And from that nursery, what do you make with your nursery? You're talking about, you're making use of this pure water sachet.
Oh, really?
These black bags that you shop, your shopping bags.
Just chop it. Put your heart that we've confirmed for you that is good for what you actually want to do. Because one thing is you want to farm. Another thing is that soil you want to use. Is it good for what you want to do?
We carry out soil test.
Do you understand? Because so many people want to go into farming, but a lot of people will fail. That is just it.
Okay. All right, Bolana, let's talk about this cooperative. I know you belong to one, Solid Harvesters. For people who are interested in, getting into farmers and getting into cooperatives so they can actually pool resources together. So tell us more about the benefits and how they can be involved.
Okay. Solid Harvester Cooperative, we're a group of women into agricultural practices. We come together. We work together, support one another, and synergize. We look for opportunities. Like we're working with Moro Global. They are consultants. They give us trainings in agriculture. They have farmlands, which we've also leased from them as a cooperative. We've leased a farmland from them, planting watermelon. So that's how we work together, so that we put in our resources, put money together to farm, and make money from that.
Okay, so
for anybody who just come and be
yes, for women, ours is women cooperative. We are just women. We're working with
class women. What kind of women?
Working class.
Housewives.
No matter what your background is.
Okay.
Housewives, graduates, coppers, market women. That's what we are saying now.
Specifically in Lagos?
Yes, we're in Lagos.
And you're saying that it's not expensive to be part of this?
It's not expensive to be part of it. To become a member is just £5.
Let's not just talk about membership forms and every other thing, so don't even start promoting it. Okay, but the thing is that when you get into these cooperatives, ordinarily you'll be able to do things you cannot do, or how?
Yeah, also cooperative, the primary reason for cooperative is to have something like thrift, savings. So yes, exactly. You save. Ours is minimum of 5,000 naira per month. So that after six months you have the ability, or you can access loans from us. We can borrow you the double of what you have already saved.
Okay.
Double.
Yes.
Just things is for women.
You have it must
specific.
That's savings. That when we want to come together to farm or plant something, we need to contribute money to do that.
Okay.
The savings is just you borrowing money. You have the ability, you can access loans from the cooperative from us members and do what you want to do with it, then you pay us back.
Agriculture, but you have to plant.
Yes, our cooperative is multi-purpose agriculture. So we are all just into agriculture.
Okay, but you did mention that you guys did watermelon recently. Does it mean that we are restricted by what I mean is, do we have to plant the same thing, or
no? No, actually, because of resources, we actually wanted to plant watermelon, tomatoes, red bell, yes, and
cucumber.
Yes, cucumber, we actually wanted to plant 3 crops. But because of finances and all, January school fees and all that, we have to limit to what we can afford.
Okay. I wanted to add to that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to add to that. You see, every female out there, every man out there, if you're married or not married, it is down to us that they believe that females are weaker vessels and we don't really have much to support the men out there. But I want to say it out to all that if you're a woman out there, just give yourself an applaud, because you are someone that is yourself and there is no replication of yourself. Yes. And by that you can make it. And how do you make it? Don't let any man relegate you to the background, and don't let any other person, not even a man, relegate you to the background. You can have what you want just at your doorstep. One thing about agriculture is that it is cool cash. When I say cool cash, because what you're getting, for instance, this watermelon she mentioned, on a particular stand you're getting let's say, let me limit it to two crops per stand. And if you're multiplying that, you're doing an acre. And if you're multiplying that, let's say you're having 2,003 crops, balls of watermelon rather, on a vine, from a vine on an acre, you're getting a whole lot of money. Nothing less than, let's say, roughly 450 to 500,000. Wow. And your input is just so small. Okay. So what we are talking about is this: we are using this to empower you. Okay. And that man, that your husband out there, or someone out there that you actually want to help, you might not necessarily be married, you might have a whole lot of responsibilities on you. It's another means of you doing agriculture and you are doing something else. One good thing about Moral Global and this solid investor is that you can be doing this. We can even farm for you on your behalf. Yes. Okay. You don't need to be there.
A whole lot of interesting stuff. Okay, for time we have to go, but just to avail yourselves of the opportunity, it's actually seeking to empower women. Look out for their seminar sometime next week on the 13th to be specific. If you are interested, you can send them an email, shcsociety@gmail.com. Once again, shcsociety@gmail.com, or bolademomodu@gmail.com. boladalemomodu@gmail.com. You could just send us an SMS on the number that is on the screen, and we will revert to you on how you can actually be a part of this. Get yourself empowered and grow the nation's economy and be your own entrepreneur. Many thanks to you two wonderful
thank you so much for coming. It's a good way to also keep the year running. For those of us who want multiple income, someone told me that which I need multiple income. I said, wow, your bills must have doubled or tripled for you to want multiple income. All right, this is what we'll call it a day to be doing entertainment tomorrow, but do not forget that like my colleague would say, the life you have is a debt you owe God, so live right. Before that, I want to say thank you so much to Boladale Momodu, and of course to Kafayat Olari Bigbe Amosu. Thank you so much. And of course to our